All right, everybody. We want to welcome you to another Nerd Sentimental broadcast / podcast, whatever you want to call it. We should just start calling it a show at this point.
Outcast.
We're not out. Okay, maybe in some ways we're outcasts. I am Ben Beck with, of course, my cohort in crime, always Adam. Say hello, Adam.
Yep. It is showtime. As I said in the chat room. In case you're listening, there is a chat room and you can chat with us throughout the show. We'll try not to let it interrupt our train of thoughts too often.
Yeah, but
it does tend to happen.
Yeah, our train of thought gets derailed quite a bit.
Yeah, it's not a very good train.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though.
True. No, I can't say that there is.
No, not at all. Want to get started?
Yeah. Coming up on today's show, I mean, we have our usual... we'll go through the box office stuff. We'll go through the upcoming releases. We'll have the nerd news, the weird of the week, and a special guest tonight. My friend from DeSales University, who is big into TV, film, stuff like that. Manny Munoz.
He's going to be
representing.
He's going to be our first official guest on Nerd Sentimental.
Yes, he will be. He'll be glad to know that.
That's good.
But we're going to talk about TV shows, both past and present, and he's going to talk a little bit about what he likes and doesn't like on TV right now.
So it's going to be an interesting conversation. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing where it's going to go.
Yes.
So because I think all three of us have different tastes, so it's going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah, and I've done a show with him before too, so it's never a dull moment.
No, then it's going to work out. Let's kick things off. Let's start with the box office.
Sure. Okay, and the box office results this week, no surprise here, since we knew nothing really great was coming out last week. The only new thing, the new movie, I should say, in the top 5 this week was The Best Man Holiday. But number 1, as last week, Thor, The Dark World, bringing in another addition to, I think they were over 80-something million last week. They brought in another 38.5 million this weekend.
Well, we kind of predicted last week that was going to be...
yeah.
We predicted it last week, not that anybody really got the opportunity to hear that. So I just want to go on record right now and apologize for our technical difficulties last week.
Yeah.
And I promise you we've got the problem resolved. So but yeah, we predicted that last week that was pretty much going to stay in the top 3, if not stay number 1.
Yeah, it blew everything else out of the water last week, and there was only one new movie opening up, and I couldn't see it beating it, so... the new movie, though, The Best Man Holiday, that actually did finish second. It actually came pretty close. It was only 8 million behind Thor: The Dark World. It finished at 30.5, which is actually a pretty big opening for a movie like that.
I'm not too familiar with it. I did hear some interviews about it with the director. I know it's the same director that did he did another movie called The Best Man. This is technically a sequel.
Yeah,
sequel to The Best Man.
Malcolm Lee, right?
Yeah. So I didn't really hear much about it. I just figured it was another one of the holiday movies that came out and was just early to the punch as far as the holidays go.
Yeah, so not bad, 30.5 million. Number 3, Las Vegas. Last week it was actually number 4, so it moved up a spot.
That's still in the top, huh?
Yeah, still in the top 5 somehow. 8.8 million that came in. And Freebirds, which was number 3 last week, finished in 4th. They basically just switched spots, 8.3 million, so it only lost out by $500,000. And then number 5, actually, this dropped from 2 all the way to number 5. Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa.
It's still in the top 5, though. It's been in the top 5 for a while.
Yeah. Its total gross is almost 100 million.
I'm still seeing commercials for it, too.
Yeah.
I'm still seeing commercials on TV.
Yeah, that brought in another 7.6 million.
So, all right. Well, I mean, yeah, I definitely know I still want to see that at some point. It might be
It's good.
It might be a little late now for me to see, and I might have to end up waiting for DVD.
There's a movie theater by our house, the Emmaus movie theater. They actually show movies that have been out. Were out like a few months ago in theaters, and you can go see a movie for like $4.
That might not be a bad place to go see it.
Yeah, it's really cool. We've seen a few things there, like 42 I saw there, the Jackie Robinson movie. Wreck-It Ralph I saw there.
Love that movie.
Yeah.
That was a good one. So, all right, I mean, that was a good top five. I know coming up, we have opening this weekend Delivery Man with Vince Vaughn.
And Kobe Smulders.
And Colby Smulders from How I Met Your Mother and The Avengers.
Correct.
And a cameo appearance in the pilot episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Correct. And I'm sure she'll make another appearance somewhere.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I know it's a little off topic, but on the topic of Colby Smulders and How I Met Your Mother, did you hear they're making a spin-off of How I Met Your Mother?
No.
How I Met Your Dad.
Really?
It's going to be told from the opposite point of view.
It's going to be told from the mother's point of view?
It's going to be told from the mother's point of view, yes.
So it's pretty much going to be all different characters.
With the exception, I believe, of the two kids.
Yeah.
Because the two kids would have to be the same.
They're the only constant, yeah.
Yeah. And
That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure that towards the end of that series, however long it goes, you'll probably start seeing cameo appearances from Jason Segel and Allison Hannigan and Neil Patrick Harris. And
right.
You would have to.
Yeah, well, and her roommate was an ex of Ted as well, if you remember.
The
mother's roommate.
In the earlier season.
Yeah, I forget her name. But that's interesting. I don't know, if that's going to do well. It's hard to top one that has Kobe Smulders, Neil Patrick Harris, and Jason Segel, and Allison Hannigan.
It's hard to top anything that just has Neil Patrick Harris.
That's true.
I mean, the rest of the cast is great, but NPH, I love NPH. He's awesome.
Who doesn't?
So, also opening this weekend, I'm sure is probably going to be number one when it opens this weekend. I think it's going to be the only movie that's going to take down Thor. The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, the sequel to the original Hunger Games. Which
I think that'll knock Thor out of the top spot.
I was actually surprised how much I actually liked the first one. I didn't think I would.
It was good. It was entertaining for sure. I actually even started to read the book.
I did too. I'm not finished it yet. I'm probably going to end up seeing the movie before I finish the book, but I'll still finish the book, and then I'll finish I'll finish the third book at some point.
Yeah, sure. I started reading the book like a year and a half ago. I got about halfway through, and I ran out of time. Like I just forgot about it.
I have so many books I have started right now. It's ridiculous. And so many that are on my list to read. It's just it's so bad. I don't have time to read any of them.
I very easily could see that kicking Thor out of the top five. Yeah. Or the top spot, not the top five. It'll be in the top five for a while.
Yeah, I can't see Thor beating that, especially on its opening weekend.
Right. And just looking ahead, I don't see anything coming out other than Frozen's coming out in like a couple weeks. The new Disney animated movie.
Oh, yeah.
The snow and everything like that. Other than that, I don't really see much coming out too soon. That'll kind of give them a run for their money.
And that one's gonna be in the top 3, almost guaranteed.
Yeah. I mean, anything Disney does,
they
do well.
On a real quick note too, I'm just reading over the chats and everything. Frozen, not snow. I don't know. I don't know anything about the movie. We'll talk about it later. But I was talking to Andrea was on the chat, and she said she's not even cute.
Yeah, she doesn't think the mother in How I Met Your Mother is cute.
I don't think she's bad looking.
She's okay.
So
she's got a bit of a protruding front teeth, I guess. I don't know. She's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kobe Smulders is better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think we can do better.
Ted can do better. Nice. Anyway, there's that derailment again. No new video games came out this week. Although the big release this week, though, in the world of video games, the PS4 came out this past week. I think it came out on Friday.
Yeah,
I think it was released on Friday. And from what you were telling me, already tons of issues.
Not tons, but there have been issues. Yeah.
So I'm sure.
And I'll get into that a little more at the Nerd News later on.
Okay. Movies that are coming out this week, coming out on Tuesday. We'll do our buy rent pass on these ones. The first one we have We Are the Millers, which was Jennifer Aniston and oh god, I'm blanking.
Jason Bateman.
Jason.
Oh, Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis. That's it.
Yeah. Wrong Jason.
Wrong Jason. And then I was going to Jason Segel, and that's a completely wrong Jason too. I heard good things. I haven't seen it. Excuse me. So I'm definitely going to rent it. I don't know if it's going to be a buy for me just because I haven't seen it yet. So I'll definitely at least rent it just to check it out. But I've heard some pretty good things about it. I heard it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, I thought watching the previews, I thought they showed a lot of it felt to me like one of those movies where they show most of the funny parts in the preview.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have, I didn't really want to go see it. So I'll rent it. I'll mark it as a rent.
I have a thing when it comes to movies in theaters. Unless it's a big budget, like special effects movie.
Yeah.
Or,
usually wait.
Or something like with a lot of action, I'll go see it in theaters. But if it's not anything like that, I usually just wait for DVD.
Yeah.
Dramas, comedies, I usually just wait for DVD.
Dramedies,
yeah. Two Guns with Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I wanted to see this movie so badly in theaters. I just didn't have time to. This is one of the movies, there aren't many that I'll do it for, but I love Mark Wahlberg and I love Denzel Washington. This is one of those movies where without even seeing it, I'd probably buy it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I haven't seen it yet, but I can probably tell you just from everything I've heard, it's going to be a buy.
Yeah.
It's one I'm going to end up getting this week.
And Mark Wahlberg never dies. I think there's maybe one movie he's ever done where he died.
I can't remember any movie where he's died.
And I don't remember what it was. Somebody told me what it was before, and I don't remember. But pretty much, and the reason this whole conversation about that had sparked about him never dying is because if anyone has seen The Departed, and I'm not going to, I can't say I'm spoiling it because the movie's been out for so long, and pretty much a lot of people die at the end.
Yeah,
but Mark Wahlberg doesn't. He's one of the few characters that is still alive at the end of the movie.
Well, it makes me wonder if he has anything in his contract to the same way as LL Cool J does.
Yeah, that has been brought up a couple of times. We're wondering if he's not allowed to die. And he's done a lot of action movies.
Because I know LL Cool J has something. He has a clause in his contract that he is not allowed to die in any movie that he is in. Halloween H2O, he's shot in the head, still survives. Deep Blue Sea with the shark.
Blue Sea, that's the one, yeah.
He's one of only two survivors at the end.
Him and the chick, right?
No, the guy. The chick sacrifices herself.
That's right.
So, but yeah, he cannot die in any movie that he's in. That might have changed because I haven't seen him in any movies lately, ever since he started doing NCIS. But
yeah.
And the other big release coming out this week is one I'm super excited for. Is The World's End with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, and written and directed by Edgar Wright. It's all the same guys that did Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
This is like an ultimate nerd movie to me. I had an incredible opportunity to go to an advanced screening of this film with Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Edgar Wright there. Got to sit through a Q&A with all three of them, got to meet all three of them at the end of the Q&A.
That's cool.
I'm a huge fan of Simon Pegg's. It was an incredible opportunity for me. So while I have the movie poster of this film up in my living room, framed and up in my living room, this is one that is by far a definite buy and a high recommend to anybody who enjoyed Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz.
Is it, out of those three, which one's the best? Shaun of the Dead?
Shaun of the Dead, to me, up until
You're biased
saw...
because you love zombies.
Well, I love zombies, but here's the thing. Shaun of the Dead is in my top 5 favorite movies of all time, if not my top 3. I saw The World's End in theaters, and I loved World's End more than Shaun of the Dead.
Wow.
So that says how good I thought The World's End was.
Interesting.
Out of the trilogy of
out
of the trilogy of the films of those 3, World's End is my favorite.
Now, the premise of this one is they come back to their hometown and everybody's robots?
They're 5 guys that, when they were younger, decided to do a pub crawl of 12 pubs in the town that they lived in. And they couldn't complete it when they were younger. So they decide to go back. And
Amateurs.
when they go back, they find to try and recreate this pub crawl. And they find that the town, most of the town has been taken over by robots, pretty much.
Huh.
So
that sounds pretty cool,
and that's not giving anything away. You see that in the trailers, and
it's not meant to be a a shocking. It's not meant to be a twist.
But if you've ever
Comedy.
if you've ever seen the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World, it's another Edgar Wright film, the same guy that did Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and World's End, just without Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. It had Michael Cera and a couple other good cameos. Brandon Routh, Chris Pine. There's a couple other good cameos in the movie. The action sequences in that movie are amazing, and they brought in the same fight choreographer from Scott Pilgrim to do the fights in World's End. So it was everything that was great about Scott Pilgrim brought into everything that was great about Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. It's the one movie out of all three of them that has the most action, the most comedy. It's just, in my opinion, by far out of all three of them, it's the best one out of all three. It's the best elements of all three of both of those movies.
So you kind of liked it. So this is probably a rent for you, maybe.
It's
maybe
a
pass.
No, it's a definite buy. And anybody who's listening, I highly recommend it. At least if you're not a fan of Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz, or you've never seen them, rent World's End.
I've seen Shaun of the Dead. I haven't seen Hot Fuzz.
If you've never seen any of those movies, take my recommendation. At least rent World's End. It's worth the view.
Fair enough.
So, but that's about it for releases for this week.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll take a quick music break.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then coming up, we'll bring Manny on, and we'll talk current TV shows, and we'll go into former TV shows as well. I do want to say before we go on break real quick, because I can see he's listening, just want to congratulate Ryan and Allie on their wedding yesterday, which you were DJing. And happy birthday to you, too, for anyone who doesn't know. It was Ben's birthday yesterday.
Thank you very much.
And he was nice enough to DJ a wedding.
And my congratulations also to Ryan and Allie. And Andrew, we don't care that the Giants won. Sorry.
No, nobody does.
No, we don't care. I don't even care that the Eagles won, except it means I get free coffee in the morning.
Yeah, that's the only reason Andrew cares.
So, all right, let's take a quick music break. We'll be back in a couple minutes, and we'll bring on Manny, and we'll get talking some TV.
TV!
All right, we'll be right back.
Am I connected through? Can the masses hear me?
Well, they can hear you now because our mics are up and we're back up.
Oh, are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live right now. It doesn't matter. We're informal, so it doesn't really
matter. He
obviously
needs no introduction.
That was good timing, though. You came right back onto the microphone just as we were bringing the mics up.
Well, Manny, we'll let you introduce yourself since you kind of brought us back in from the music anyway.
Sure, yeah. I'm, oh, wow, I'm
You forget your name?
The other feed. No, I put up the stream from before, and I was hearing a delay, and I was like, well, who is this?
Yeah, you got to turn that down.
I'm Manny Munoz. I went to school with Adam, unfortunately. Not because it's not because Adam was there. It's because of the school we went to.
You can tell the truth.
I was going to say, you don't have to lie.
It's because Adam. And I studied TV film there, and I still don't know nothing. Know nothing. There you go. About TV film. I'm from New Jersey, Soprano Town, I call it, because that's where they filmed The Sopranos. The actual town is where I lived. So, like,
what town was that?
North Caldwell.
Okay, that's where they filmed The Sopranos.
Yeah, the Soprano house is actually there. My small, quick anecdote: my dad actually almost bought the Soprano house before it became the Soprano house, and then HBO contacted the owner, and he's like, "We're taking it off the market." But yeah,
wow, how history would have been different,
right? It would have been
crazy. That is crazy.
Sopranos might have been in a row home.
Yeah,
it may have.
It might have been in Newark,
or maybe HBO would have came to us, and we would have been, rolling in the dough. Yeah. I don't know.
And then you'd be an actual celebrity on our show.
That's true. And recently,
just a fake one.
Yeah, it's true. And right now, I'm talking to you guys from like thousands of miles away in Brooklyn, New York.
That is very far away.
Thousands of miles.
Well, I mean, that's the furthest we've gone so far. So.
I believe that's an 8-hour flight to you guys, right?
At least.
That's more like that's like thousands of feet away.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah.
On the map, at least.
Yeah, but you do have the lucky luck of being our first guest ever on the show.
What an honor! Wow.
Yeah.
I feel. Why aren't there balloons?
There are. You can't see them. It's
Oh, okay. I just expect them to all rain down on me like, you're number one.
yeah, there are balloons here, but you can't see them.
Yeah, I have them all over the floor here in my apartment too. But I mean, I kind of realized after I blew them all up, it was kind of pointless because nobody can see them but me.
And we don't have you on video either. So.
Yeah.
Oh no, I gotta get Skype Premium.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently we're not fancy. See, if your dad would have sold the house
then I could
for The Sopranos, we could afford Skype Premium, and we could
probably would have bought Skype.
Yeah,
and have the premium for free because we have
exactly. I don't even think I can see Ben anymore. I had Ben, but now I don't see him.
No, I think our video feeds went down too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, this is my fault. I'm the catalyst here.
All right, time to get rid of the guest.
See you guys.
He's bringing down the
Great
show.
having.
That was pretty
great
much
having
it.
Me around.
All right, so let's get into our TV shows discussion. We'll kind of start out with current ones. Is there any specific show on right now, Manny, that you think is the best one out there right now?
Airing right now, or like specifics here?
On air right now.
On air right now, or is like
you can watch a new
air?
episode this week.
This week.
Or, if it's off season, which most of them aren't.
So,
Right.
so you're talking
gonna-
You're talking television shows that are still currently. They may not be on the air right now, but they're still running.
Yes.
Right, they're
Okay.
still running, and there'll be new season soon.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying Two Broke Girls and Big Bang Theory, and all those CBS shows are just amazing. And I'm being super sarcastic right now,
I was going to say.
and I don't like any of those.
You don't like
if
you
guys
don't.
are listening and like them.
You're not a fan
You
of
don't-
Big Bang Theory, at least.
He doesn't like Laugh Track.
I think.
believe.
All right. I think
Well-
Big Bang Theory is super offensive to everyone, ever.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's not funny at all. It's like, oh, we're just gonna mention this random, sort of nerdy, geeky reference, and it's supposed to be funny, but it's not.
I like it. I at least like the earlier ones. I haven't seen the newer episodes.
See, because I personally love that show, and I've read up on it and read interviews and things like that. They actually have a lot of legit people behind the scenes, like a lot of scientists and professors who consult on that show. So everything they're talking is actual legit. It's not just random reference that they're saying.
Right, but I mean, it's the actual phrasing of the reference is not funny to me. It's
okay.
like, they just like mention it, and like I'm like, okay, where's the pun?
Right. And you're not a fan
Gotcha.
of Laugh Track as well.
That's true. I usually don't like laugh track shows. The last more
Seinfeld.
recent, no,
Big
I
Bang's
like older stuff like that.
Big Bang's not Laugh Track. Big Bang's live audience.
All right, I mean, live anything that they have laughing inside.
Oh,
okay, Of the okay. show.
Anytime where they tell you to laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
That's my problem. I don't like being told like, oh, hey, laugh here. I implore you guys to go ahead and like try to look up on YouTube Big Bang Theory without laugh track, and people have removed laugh track off of it, and you will not laugh because it's not funny.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't want to
if you
do that
wanna
though, because it's probably going to ruin it for me.
Yeah, I want to enjoy it.
If you want to watch a good, I would consider a great, like sitcom now. Community is my favorite.
I love Community. That is probably
Community
one
is
of my
just the best.
that is probably one of my
Minus the
favorite
last-
sitcoms on TV right now.
It's so awesome, but minus the last season, because of Dan Harmon's absence. I don't know if you know about that. Do you know that whole?
I do, and I even think last season, because I bought it on DVD a couple weeks ago, and I've actually gone back and started watching it a little bit, rewatching the episodes, and even some of those episodes still kind of had their moments. I will agree they weren't as good as the past 3 seasons, but I still think season 4 even still had its moments every once in a while.
What's the Dan Harmon thing?
Do you want me to explain, or do you want?
You can explain it.
Oh, okay. Well, so Dan Harmon is a creator of Community, and he basically over the first 3 seasons, he just got into crazy amount of fights with Chevy Chase on the show, and also like producers at Sony. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. There was like a lot of stuff that went on.
Yeah.
And basically, Sony let him go after the 3rd season, and he was replaced by the two consulting writers and producers on Happy Endings, which is a show that got canceled recently.
Is that the one with Matthew Perry?
No. Who's on it?
I'm thinking Mr. Sunshine. I don't know why I was thinking of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Happy Endings was I'm trying to think of the name of the guy in it.
Alicia Cooper.
Damon Wayans is
I think it was Damon Wayans Jr., isn't it?
Damon Wayans Jr. He was on the first episode of New Girl, like the pilot as coach.
Yep. I know who you're talking.
And then he left because he got the show on Happy Endings.
Right. Yeah, and he just did a cameo on New Girl too as coach.
I think they're bringing him on.
Yeah, he's back on. He's back on for a couple episodes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty good show. Speaking of it,
I like New Girl. I watch New Girl. See, no laugh track. It's great.
Well, I mean, if you're mentioning New Girl, which brings me to another Fox show that I absolutely love and has no laugh track, and actually just came back this week. I still have to watch it. Is Raising Hope.
Oh, I haven't tried that yet. I mean, I've seen 2 episodes when it first came out, and I was like, "This is not my thing yet."
Yeah, it didn't look interesting to me.
Well, have either of you ever seen My Name Is Earl?
Yes.
And what did you think of My Name Is Earl?
I like My Name Is Earl.
It's the same writers. It's the same exact writers. So if you liked Earl, it's the same exact kind of comedy.
Oh, okay. I'll check it. I'll definitely check it out. Usually for those kind of shows, I wait it out a little bit and then check it out again. But what is it on its 3rd or 4th season now?
I think it's on. I think it's going into its 4th season. Yeah, I think it just
Raising Hope. I think is on 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
back onto Community quickly. I just want to finish the Dan Harmon thing. So he got fired. He got replaced by the writers of Happy Endings, and that did so. That last season was just so weird. I mean, like Ben was saying, it was funny, but there was still something missing from it. And
right.
I don't know. I pinpointed it as empathy because I think Dan Harmon has this weird thing where he could relate back to the viewers and make you have the feels.
Now, is Community on Netflix?
I'm not sure if it is or not. I can actually, while you guys are talking, I can actually check.
Okay, because that's one of those movies that I didn't hear about right away, so it was already a couple seasons in by the time I wanted to start watching it. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just wait till it comes out on Netflix and try watching it on there. That's what I'm doing with Parks and Rec now.
Community is not on Netflix.
Yeah, so I could, because I don't want to just jump in when it's in the 5th season.
You can borrow my DVDs.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I have them all on DVD too, so it's...
Well, you can borrow from Ben. He's closer.
Yes, he does.
I do, however, I do think they have select episodes of Community on Hulu. Actually, I know they do, because they've picked a couple of the best seasons from the past 3 or 4 seasons, and they're up on Hulu. And
Is Ken Jeong in that show?
Ken Jeong is in that show.
Oh, yeah, he is, yeah.
Yeah, Senior Chang.
And Donald Glover's hilarious.
And that's the thing.
Just from hearing his stand-up.
And I kind of worry. Yeah, his stand-up is hysterical. But that's the only thing I'm really worried about with this upcoming season of Season 5 of Community is that Donald Glover is only going to be part-time. He's not going to be a full-time cast member this time. Right. I don't believe Chevy is even coming back at all because of the issues that they had.
He's done.
So I'm kind of worried. I know Dan Harmon is back, but I don't know how the quality is going to be without Chevy and with Donald Glover only being a part-time cast member.
I never saw Chevy Chase as a crucial member, although he was very much the butt of a lot of the jokes, especially old jokes. But I'll definitely be missing Donald Glover. Big fan of his, even his rapping.
Yeah,
Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino.
Yeah. Childish Gambino is amazing.
Yeah, I love his. I've seen the show 5 times. Anyway, what worries me is about Community is how are they going to kind of erase last season? I don't know what they're going to do, but I know Dan Harmon was not happy with it. He watched it all at the end of it.
I don't really think they would have to erase last season. There's a lot of things that I'm watching that kind of. There's not really a continuing storyline through season 4. The only continuing storyline through season 4 that I'm seeing so far, going back and rewatching, is the whole Changnesia with Ken Jeong's character. And I don't remember if there was a resolution with that towards the end of the season. That's why I'm going back and I'm rewatching.
There was, but I don't want to say anything just in case people people are watching or going to watch.
So, I mean, that's really the only thing I can see that they would have to carry over into Season 5. Otherwise, Season 5, they could just start over from scratch and just continue on with the. Oh, and there was the other resolution, too, with Joel McHale's character at the very end.
Yep.
So they'd have to find a way to incorporate that into the storyline. But, I mean, knowing Dan Harmon, he could write a small blip in the pilot episode that would somehow completely negate that, and they're right back to where they were.
It was all in Abed's head. It was in the Dreamatorium, and that's it.
Or he did something, to screw it up, and he had to go back.
Yeah. But quick side note about Donald Glover. He's leaving because he's starting his own show on FX. I don't know if it's going to be on that FXX network or what.
Yeah.
He's doing his own show, so I'm really excited about that.
Do you know what it's about?
I don't. I have no idea what it's about, and that's what's exciting.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't even heard anything about it. But he is great.
But let's get off Community because
we've taken a lot of time.
We've been even general.
It's definitely a nerdy pop culture kind of show, and good for anybody to check out who's into it. But yeah,
But even if you're not like a huge nerd or anything, like people love it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I was going to say something else. I forget. I don't know.
Well, did you want to stick to the sitcoms, or did you want to move on to more like dramas?
I can't think of anything else. Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine's pretty good. It's getting its legs finally.
I've caught the end of that a couple times because when I DVR stuff, I usually go a couple minutes before and after each show, and it's on right before New Girl. And I've caught the end. It actually does look pretty funny.
It's funny. It's not one of those shows like Parks and Rec and I would say even The Office. Like they're
it's like
funny,
silly humor.
Care a little bit, right? But like at the end of the day, you kind of care for the character. Like
right.
The Brooklyn Nine-Nine thing is just funny, and that's it. There's not very much of like I hope they get together or
character development or anything, which is fine.
There's very tiny development, but it's like really situation.
You don't really need it to be in a comedy anyway.
Right. Well, some people would like it. I would like it, Adam.
Well, yeah, I mean, they do that with New Girl.
Yeah.
They've really developed a lot of them in the relationships and, with all that stuff.
I'm trying to think of what other, like, funnies are out there that I would recommend.
So you don't watch How I Met Your Mother?
No, I actually don't. I watched several episodes, like, friends putting it on, and I thought it was funny, but, like, I don't really watch them or download them.
I think you should tell us more about this love for two broke girls.
So I have no idea what it's about. I know Kat Dennings in it, right?
Yeah, the most annoying part of Thor: Dark World.
Yeah.
Oh, she's in that again?
Yeah. You haven't seen it yet?
I have, dude. I've been so behind on movies.
It's good. I've seen it twice already.
We were talking about TV because movies I am so terrible at right now.
But Kat Dennings, the only thing I liked her in was 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh,
yeah. I know, however, though, talking about Thor: Dark World for a minute, I know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which, Manny, I'm not sure if you watched that or not. I think this week is the week where they're touching base on the aftermath of everything that happened in Thor.
Yes.
Is actually going to be on this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I won't watch past that episode then until I see the movie.
This Tuesday.
That's cool that they're doing that, by the way. I like that how they're doing that. I actually only watched the pilot of Marvel's The Avengers.
You mean S.H.I.E.L.D.?
S.H.I.E.L.D., sorry. What's it called? Marvel's S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Agents
of S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah.
There it is. It's a lot of A's. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a long name.
There's only one A.
At least they abbreviated S.H.I.E.L.D. It could have been Agents of Strategic Homeland, whatever the heck the full title is.
Yeah, the acronym there.
Somebody really wanted
Homeland
it to
Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division.
Yeah. Somebody really wanted it to spell S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
What Marvel movie was that in? I forget.
No, it was in the pilot.
Okay, that's right.
It was in the pilot. Agent Ward says that in the first episode.
That's right. So you guys have been watching that? It's been good?
Yeah, it's funny too.
It's been pretty good.
It's got good comedy.
The production value was just so bad for like what it tries to do that it was off-putting.
Yeah, it's tough.
Type of humor. So.
You know what though?
When they have these. Go ahead, Ben.
That's more of that's actually kind of Joss's style, though. I mean, he doesn't put a lot of production value, like super production value, into a lot of his shows. Because if you relate back to like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, out of all his shows from the past, the only one I can really think of that even had a somewhat higher production value was Firefly. And you kind of had to with that show. You couldn't get away with a low production value with that one.
And look what happened to that one.
And yeah, it was canceled after 11 episodes.
Canceled, made a movie.
Cult classic.
But it's a classic. I would love for them the way they did things in the movie Serenity, which was the follow up to the show. There's no way they could bring the show back. I would still love to see them do it though.
But there's no chance. But it's really cool. I still love the movie. I think I like the movie now more after I rewatched.
I saw the movie before I watched the show.
That's same for me. Yeah.
Well, see, the tough part with S.H.I.E.L.D. is we're so used to these Marvel movies coming out with these billion-dollar budgets, and then you have to take that and shrink it down to a much, much smaller budget on a weekly basis. So, I mean, obviously, you're not going to get the same type of, quality, I guess you could say, that you're going to get in Thor and Avengers and Captain America and stuff like that. But I really like what they've done with the Agent Coulson character. I mean, he's basically the head honcho.
And they've been
rather than just like a side character.
And they've been toying really, and I'm trying not to give anything away for Manny who hasn't been caught up with it, but they've been toying.
You can say it.
They've been really revolving around certain elements of his character and what happened to his character in the Avengers.
And how he's alive.
And how he's still alive.
Oh, so they just hint at it every now and then?
Each episode, they've been hinting at it more and more.
And I think it's going to come to a head at some point, too, because I have a theory on his character still being alive that was actually something that actually was mentioned in the Avengers. So I'm waiting. It's going to be very interesting to see if it's something they do in the show. In the Avengers...
Is that the whole card thing?
What was that?
The card thing?
No, it has nothing to do with the card. There's one thing that's mentioned in the beginning of the Avengers when Agent Coulson goes to visit Tony Stark and Pepper Potts in Stark Tower. Tony Stark actually mentions something called the life model.
Yeah, life model decoy.
And the life model decoy is pretty much a clone. That's exactly what it is. And if you go back to the comic books relating to the comic books with S.H.I.E.L.D., life model clones are pretty much every member of S.H.I.E.L.D., every agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury included, is a clone. The actual originals of those people are tucked away somewhere. So this new Agent Coulson in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is really just another life model decoy.
Interesting.
Could be. There's also I've read a few different theories, and one of them was that he would actually be the character, the Vision. I don't know if you guys.
I've heard of it. I don't know much about him though.
I don't know much about him either, other than
Ask
people
Wikipedia.
think he's gonna. He's basically an android, and he's a member of the Avengers. And he was created by, I don't know, he's from back in 1940 as far as the comics go.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll definitely be checking.
I just like the fact that they're using Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of as the, I guess, the filler between the different Marvel movies. And they're actually tying them in. They're actually tying all the Avengers movies into them. They first started with Thor, and they started with the Avengers, so there's been some mention of the aliens from the Avengers throughout the show so far. And now they're going to tie in Thor, which just passed. And so I'm sure they'll tie in Captain America when Captain America Winter Soldier comes out next year. So as long as the show keeps going, it's great filler between all the Marvel movies.
Right. By the way, the robot Ultron is the creator of the Vision, FYI, who, if you know, is the villain in the next Avengers movie.
Well, well, that's the thing. I know Joss has a plan. Like everything, I've read articles, and Joss has a plan leading up to like Avengers 4 already. So everything that he does in these movies and in the show, he's doing intentionally. Everything is meant with a purpose. And I'm sure there's stuff that's been done that we haven't even seen. We just went right past it.
Yeah. And I love the Fitzsimmons characters too, by the way, on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, so do I.
Simmons.
Yeah, the last episode that really involved Fitz was really good. I kind of like that one too.
Yeah.
So, but I got to ask Manny, Walking Dead fan, yes or no?
All right. You guys love hate me for this because I hate watch it.
You hate watch it?
I hate watch it.
Meaning,
So you watch it because you hate it?
I watch it and hate it at the same time.
You like hate yourself for watching it?
Sort of, but it's more. I just hate the show, but I still watch it.
well, why do you hate the show?
Actually, all right. Well, I hated it ever since after episode 2 or 3 of season 1. Like, I don't know. It started off promising enough, and then I'm like, this is not. Once they left, I forget the guy's name. The dude and his sons. Once he left, like that house that they were in, they meet with the camp people, and it was like, I don't know, it felt off to me. And then like as it went on, and especially season 2, season 2 the farm, right?
Season 2 was Herschel's farm, yes.
Yeah, that was like it was painful of how like not just boring, but I just didn't enjoy myself, and I don't know exactly why. I just thought the writing was subpar to what it could have been. Because I read the comics. I mean, I'm not all the way caught up, but I do read the comics, and it's just awesome. And not just like in violence and stuff like that, but I mean, I felt way more entertained by the comics, and then like here's a show based on it. I'm like, all right, this is going to be really fun and or like a good social commentary, or super slow and like my kind of drama. And instead it became like this gritty-esque type of deal. Let's just kill people off to kill them off, and became almost predictable for me. Like every time I know they're spending too much on a character for like one episode, I know that character's going to die at the end of it or something.
Or something major is going to happen with that character.
Yeah, exactly. And it's become weird. And the whole thing is with Frank Darabont getting kicked out as like the show creator. I think if he stayed on, I would have been more intrigued.
Well, I believe he's back on.
No, he's not.
He's doing Mob City now.
Yeah, he's doing Mob City with Shane.
Yeah,
that's his name. Yeah. You mentioned the actor last week, but I forgot his name.
I forget his name too. I know you're talking about that.
He's doing Mob City now. But this new guy, Scott. Oh, I forgot his name. You might have to look it up.
I was going to say
I'm definitely not IMDbing it right now. But this new creator, Scott, he's on it, and I actually am enjoying this season a lot more than I have the past like 4 or whatever, or 3 really. So yeah, there's some highlights in the show where I'm like, can I speak of spoilers for season 2? Is that
yeah? I mean, if people haven't been to, it's long enough.
So like one part that really like I felt good about it, like not good about it in a sick, twisted way, but I felt like it felt like a good show I was watching. Was when they revealed Sophia was in the barn.
Let me tell you that
was the finale of season 2.
No. That was the mid-season.
That was
the mid-season finale.
That's right.
And that last 5 minutes of that episode, to me, still to this day, out of every episode of that show, stands as the most intense and most gut-wrenching minutes of that series so far.
No, I agree. It was definitely it hit the feels.
Yeah.
And by the way, John Bernthal's the guy who played Shane.
Yeah, John Bernthal. There you go. Look at that.
And
did you have to scrub through last week just to figure that out, or did you look it up on?
I looked it up.
And I think Scott Gimple is the one you're thinking of, is the
that's him. Yep.
See, look at that. Ask and we deliver.
Yeah, thank you.
We don't mess around.
I really don't want to click around while I talk to you guys.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
We'll do the legwork.
Do one thing at
You're
once.
the guest. You don't have to do that kind of shit.
Oh, thanks. This is a first guest honor.
Yeah. Next time you come on, though, you got to bring your own stuff to the table. All right.
I will say, if you're watching tonight is a interesting episode. It's different from most.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a cutaway from the core group.
Yes, yeah. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about it right now.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything that hasn't happened yet either. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now, Manny, I know you're probably running a little low on time. How much time you got left? Probably.
I could probably go to like 8:10.
Oh, okay. I thought you had to get out here a little sooner. Well, I just
have hands on now, Adam. It's
okay. Yeah, when we first Skyped in with Manny, luckily we don't have premium and there is no video, but apparently he was completely naked.
100%. Birthday suit Manny. It was
and
good.
If you've listened to any of our other shows, we talked about a pantsless podcast, so apparently Manny's on board with that.
I'll just say thank God for central heating.
But anyway, I know you and Ben are big Whovians, so I didn't want to cut your time short for that because I know you guys both love that.
Oh yeah, Doctor Who is freaking phenomenal. Like I would curse there. There's a vulgar expletive.
There's no FCC
regulation, so feel free.
Well, I'll keep it PG-13. I'll just throw 1 or 2 F-bombs. And
that's fine.
But Doctor Who is fucking unbelievable. It's so great. I'm actually getting one of my roommates, Chris Brockway. You might know him, Adam.
Yes, I do.
He's just getting into Doctor Who. He's on the 6th or 7th episode of season 1 of the 2005 season.
So he's still in the Eccleston.
Yeah, he's on the ninth Doctor.
Why is there a new Doctor every
It's not every whatever. It's when the story needs it.
Okay.
Or when the actor's ready to leave.
Exactly.
Funny enough that you mentioned that they're actually bringing back. They're on the 11th Doctor right now, but the 50th anniversary episode, which comes on next Saturday, which we're going to be. I'm going to be doing that special broadcast Saturday night afterwards.
Right.
That live broadcast that night. They're on the 11th Doctor right now.
Kanye.
What was that?
Oh, that's right. You have a concert to go to, don't
Kanye.
you?
I'm going to see Kanye that night. I'm sorry. If not, I would be on. I'll be on the show.
And yes, Doctor Who is on Netflix.
Yes.
It's on Netflix and Hulu, actually.
Maybe I'll try it again. I started watching the pilot one time when I used to work nights, and I couldn't really get it. I'll give it another try.
I will tell you right now, you do have to give that first season a couple episodes. The first episode definitely comes off as a low-budget pilot. Yep. And I think that's mainly because they were kind of still trying to find their legs when it came to rebooting the series.
And everybody's British.
Well,
also, it was like 2005, and like in 2005, there was like hardly any like great sci-fi shows out there. I mean,
true.
Battlestar Galactica comes in like later, I believe, and
Lost.
That had some great special effects. I mean, like special effects wise, and have to do with like spaceships and other things like that.
Yeah, I know. Me personally, when it comes to Doctor Who, I've seen bits and pieces of the old original Doctor Who, so I never thought Doctor Who would be something I would personally enjoy. I never thought I would get it. I never thought I would enjoy it. I thought it was too nerdy for me. Too sci-fi and things like that.
Too nerdy for you?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god!
But my friend Amanda, who was really big into it, she kept telling me, she's like, just give it a try, and she kept pressuring me to get onto it. And then finally, I said, you know what? I have some time. The first couple seasons are on Netflix. I'll give it a shot. So I give any new show I try, I give 3 episodes, and if I can't get into it by the 3rd episode, I drop it.
That's exactly my mantra or whatever.
Yeah.
I know my workflow.
So
episodes.
So I started watching it, and the next thing I know, I'm halfway through season 1. And I was, again, the first episode, I kind of struggled through a little bit. I loved Chris Eccleston as the Doctor, but I still kind of struggled through it a little bit. That by the 3rd episode or the 4th episode, I was hooked. And I ended up getting through the first 4 seasons of it within, I think, a matter of maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's quick. Adam, I would suggest watching. There's like a couple of friends of mine. They gave me like this, like to get into Doctor Who. They're like, watch these like 4 choice episodes, and then go back and watch it from the beginning, and see if you like it. And
so 4 episodes throughout the series.
Yeah, just randomly. They're all actually David Tennant episodes, but
well, I think there's an Eccleston episode that would probably fit in there. I think the Empty Child is probably.
Oh yeah, maybe
a good one that would be. I know Blink with Tenet is a definite.
That's the one I was going to say. That's the first one I saw ever. Actually, not the first one I've saw, but like the first one I actually seeked out to watch. It wasn't like on TV or something.
Blink is a season 3 episode. There's actually, believe it, there's not a lot of the Doctor in it.
Very Doctor Who light.
But it gives you a great idea as to the storytelling that show does.
Yeah, and Carey Mulligan's in it.
Yes, she is. Yep,
she's got long hair, which is cute.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So
I'll have to.
Yeah, I never thought I would get into it myself, and I absolutely love the show. I can't wait for the 50th on Saturday.
It's gonna be a good one. Are you doing one of those simulcasts?
No, I'm gonna watch it at home. It's simulcast on BBC America, so I'm gonna watch it at home.
Yeah. I'll be watching at home too. I tried ordering buying tickets for the 3D simulcast in the theater, and
they sold out.
Fandango had like problems, and it blew up, and yeah, and then they put it back on without telling anyone, and it got sold out again. So I'm crying inside, but I'll watch it.
I don't care. I'll still get to see it, so
yeah,
doesn't bother me none. So before we wrap this up, though, I want to ask a question. This will get us off current TV a little bit. Adam and Manny, if there was any one show from previous that's already done and gone, and there was a show that you could bring back, what would it be if there was anything that you could do?
Go ahead, Manny. You can go first.
Well, I don't want to bring it back. I think it ended fine, but The Wire is the best thing in the world.
It's the best thing in the world?
Ever. Adam Hutchinson writes Lost, and I disagree. But
I see. My thing with Lost, I thought the first 4 seasons were phenomenal, and then it started kind of sputter out. The 5th and the 6th was just bad.
Listen, it was a good ride, though. It was really fun.
Right? Yeah. I if I would do anything with Lost, I wouldn't bring the show back itself because I really don't know what they'd do beyond what they've done. If anything, I would do a spin-off series with who the hell's the guy who played Ben?
Oh, Michael Emerson.
Yeah, him and which now he's busy doing other shows, but him and Jorge Garcia.
Well, can I just say, too, as far as Lost goes, I know a lot of people who are up in arms and like really disappointed in the ending because, you know, they said throughout the entire series they weren't dead the whole time. They weren't dead the whole time. And then at the end, everybody's like, oh, they were really dead the whole time. Look, they were not dead the whole time. The
finale puts that to rest.
Yeah, but people didn't understand it. I think the finale was so complicated that people didn't understand it. And once I explained, my best friend was the same way. He said, oh, they were dead the whole time. I really was disappointed in the ending. But once I explained it to him the way I saw it, it made more sense to him, and he actually enjoyed the finale a little bit more. And that's the fact that the flash sideways that they were experiencing in the final season, that, was when they were all dead. But they all died at different times. Christian Shepherd
even says it. Yeah.
Christian Shepherd, Jack's father, in the very last episode said, no, everything was real. What you experienced on that island was real. How could you still think they were all dead the entire time just from that line?
Yeah, I think if anyone has the time, rewatch the series, enjoy it again. And like the second time running through, I watched it again. I was a lot less pissed off when it was all over.
Yeah.
But still pissed off.
Still a little pissed off. But like I said, if I had to do anything with that, I would do a spin-off because you know how Ben and Hurley were left to watch the island at the last episode. You could kind of, if you wanted to kind of please the fans, do a spin-off and kind of explain some of the mysteries of the island. You can just call it The Island if you want.
Yeah, before they ended up dying at some point too.
Right, exactly. But that's not the show I would bring.
What would be the one you would bring back?
I would probably, and Andrea made a comment, Boy Meets World, but they actually brought back Girl Meets World.
They're bringing Girl Meets World, yeah.
Yeah, but I would actually probably bring back Fringe. I think that was a really good show.
Fringe was a good show, and it was a strong show.
Didn't it feel like it ended 3 times for you guys, though?
Yeah, it kind of did, but I just liked,
I loved it.
I love the whole premise of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, if they could, people get paid millions of dollars, they could figure out a way to make it work. And I actually still have to finish watching the 5th season. I didn't watch it yet.
Right.
I know. As far as shows that I would bring back, one of them I already mentioned. I have 3. Firefly is definitely one I would bring back, and mine. The 3 shows that I have are more on the nerdy side. Anyway, another show I absolutely loved that I think ended well too soon, but at least they gave it the ending was Jericho.
That's one I still haven't watched. It's on my list of things to watch. I think I watched one episode back when it started.
Yeah.
But I really want to check it out again.
It's on Netflix. I know the first season ended in a huge cliffhanger, and that was when they canceled it. So there were so many fans up in arms that they actually gave them 6 more episodes to close out the story.
Did you ever watch Flash Forward?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Back when that was on. That was only on one season that had a big cliffhanger at the end, too, and it got canceled.
Yeah.
And
That was a little more fun at the end.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other ones I would bring back.
Actually,
that
Manny,
get canceled.
that Flash
Yeah.
Forward, that's the reason I started watching Lost, because I remember texting you. I don't know if it was out when we were in school or not. I think it was after we graduated.
I think it
But I
was
remember
after.
texting you asking you if you watched Flash Forward and saying I liked it. You said, if you like that, watch Lost.
Did I?
Yeah.
Huh.
Whether you remember it or not, yes.
So those were actual flash forwards in Lost.
Correct. Right.
I'm trying to think. Have you heard of Terriers? The show on FX. It was only for one season. It was like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. It got canceled after its first season.
2010.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Wow, that was fast, Evan.
I know Terra Nova. That was one I was actually starting to get into before Fox canceled it.
Yeah, that was actually pretty decent, and it had the guy in it from Avatar.
Yeah.
The general.
I know.
That guy.
I know the other show though that's off the air now.
Stephen Lang.
That I absolutely loved, and I don't know if I would like to see it brought back, but because it got a good ending, but it was a show that I was a huge fan of. It was the one show every week I looked forward to the most watching was Chuck.
Oh, everybody loved Chuck.
That was
I never got into it.
I know. I just never watched it, but I hear good things.
I have a long list of ones that I hear people say they love and I want to try, and I just never get around to it.
and
The
Zachary Levi from Chuck was in Thor. We were talking about that last week.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. The portion of the show that wasn't recorded.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. There was another one that I had into my tongue. Oh, Carnival on HBO got the boot too early. John from Cincinnati on HBO got the boot too early. And also Tell Me You Love Me, which is pretty brutal and I think honest.
Are these all HBO shows?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They're all, and Hung as well. I like Hung. And
Did Hung get canceled?
Yeah, it got canceled after its 3rd season.
Because I watched the first season of that and I enjoyed it, but I just never went back to it afterwards.
Yeah, and Enlightened just got canceled last season, and that was something special as well. They're different shows. They're just a little off.
Yeah, I think Sex and the City got canceled too early.
You are so full of shit.
Watch Tell Me You Love Me though. If you're not afraid of nudity and some explicit sex scenes.
Well, I'm talking to you, so obviously I'm not afraid of nudity.
That's true.
Nudity and sex scenes. If you're afraid of nudity and sex scenes, you obviously don't either watch.
You're listening to the wrong podcast.
Yeah, you obviously don't watch Game of Thrones or Spartacus or any of those shows. Because that's pretty much all they are.
Spartacus was a great show. You know what? If I could bring back a human being, it would be the guy who originally played Spartacus.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He died from. Wow, what the heck did he have? I can't remember.
Spartacus.
I can't remember his name either. It's not Liam McIntyre. That's the current guy.
No.
I'm not
Continue
familiar.
on.
I
I'll
never
look
watched it. No, I never watched it.
It's good. I recommend it if you can find it. It used to be on Netflix. I don't think it is anymore.
So, I mean, there's a lot of great shows that I miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy Whitfield was his name.
I think what was the other Joss Whedon one? Dollhouse. I think that was doing well after its 2nd season.
I never caught that one.
Try it out. I think it's on Netflix. It's tough to get into at first. I think like all Joss Whedon stuff, I feel like you have to watch like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah,
and then get into it.
And I told my friend Chris about that too, about when it came to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because he was the same way. He said that he thought, like, when he watched the pilot of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., He actually thought it wasn't as good as it was going to be. And I told him, I was like, look, this is Joss's style. You got to give him that first episode or two to set things up. And once he does, it's off
starting
and running.
to pick up.
I haven't downloaded. I'm definitely gonna.
It is starting to pick up. And by the way, Andy Whitfield died of lymphoma cancer.
Okay.
But all right, I guess we'll let you go, Manny.
On that note,
leave you with that somber feeling.
Yeah, watch Walking Dead and like it a little more tonight than usual.
Try not to hate it.
I mean, I already liked it already, so I'm good. What else is on tonight? Oh, Homeland. Homeland's good.
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, if you want. I mean, Denver's gonna win no matter what. Right? Is Denver playing tonight?
Yeah, Denver and Kansas City. That's good football knowledge on your part.
Is Kansas City still undefeated?
Yes, they are.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We won't get
Big
into
game.
that.
Yeah. That's a completely different podcast.
Yeah, that is the non-nerd sentimental.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be for the Pantsless podcast.
Ben, you want to bring
Thanks for having me, guys.
A music break?
Yeah, great having you on, man. We'll have to definitely have you on again sometime.
Definitely. Next time maybe we'll talk movies, and I'll actually catch up on stuff.
Yeah. That works for me.
We appreciate it, man. Congrats on being the first guest.
Guys,
yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna. I'm sorry. We're gonna take a quick music break, and we'll be back in a little bit. Manny, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, we're back from that music break. I love that song, that Atomic Time, Don't You Want Me cover.
Atomic Time's a good band.
Yeah.
And that's a good song, so that's a good combination.
We heard that song last night. That's what made me think to play it today.
Last night when we were at the Sands.
We were at the Sands Casino for the
when
the
Allie
wedding.
won. Yeah, Allie won money without even playing a game.
Yeah, that was kind of that was kind of awesome.
Yeah,
we just sat there and stared at each other. It was like, well, does anybody know who that guy was?
We went to the Sands after their wedding, for those of you who weren't there, and she was still in her wedding dress, and some guy walks up to her and says, congratulations, hands her some cash, and says, go blow it on one of these games or something like that.
Congratulations, now go blow it.
Yeah, so handed her like $65 or something like that.
And we just looked at each other like, does anybody know who that guy was?
What just happened?
Yeah. Made me think I need to start wearing a wedding dress when I go to casinos.
You might get more than money.
Yeah, I get.
You'll definitely get some looks.
Yeah, we were getting a lot of attention at the casino last night. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, we were. It was cool.
I mean, mostly Allie was getting the attention, but we were surrounded, so we got it too.
But it was a fun time.
Yeah. What do you say we move on and we do some nerd news?
Yep.
This is Nerd News.
All right, I'm going to kick things off this week when it comes to the nerd news. For those of you that don't know, obviously Blockbuster has been pretty much well out of business for the past couple years, but there's still been some stores that have been floating around the country. I know there's one down here by me that's been around for a while.
There's one about like 10 minutes away.
So, but the last store, the final stores are closing. Blockbuster is going to be no more, and I think their online rentals going away as well. So I think Blockbuster is going to be completely defunct.
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah, and I mean with Netflix and Hulu and everything, it was.
With everything moving to online, and then even and to kind of kick Blockbuster while they were down, even with Netflix out, Redbox comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can rent movies for $1.
And you don't even have to go to a store to do it. You can do it while you're grocery shopping.
Yeah, and you can return it anywhere.
So what I found funny though, and I found actually really clever, the last movie ever rented for Blockbuster Video, the last movie, whether it was online or in the store, very fitting. This is the end.
Yes,
I'm sure it was probably done intentionally.
Apocalypse movie. I'm sure it
was done intentionally. But yep, the final rental store it was in Hawaii and closed at 11 p.m. on November 9th. So they're done. They are completely closed.
End of an era.
End of an era. What do you got on your end?
Well, in other news, PlayStation 4, like we mentioned, officially released on Friday. In the first 24 hours, Sony sold over 1 million, and Amazon already sold out. The network, though, was struggling initially after all the high volumes, and some consoles were actually having an issue in what people are calling the blue light of death. Which, if you remember, when the 360s came out, the Xbox 360s, they had the red ring of death.
The red ring of death.
That kind of haunted them most of the first few years until they came out with the Slims. It wasn't really till the Slims that they officially solved that problem, right?
Yeah. They got rid of with the redesign of the Slim. They got rid of it.
Yeah, and this is kind of, we were talking off air. This is kind of the reason we wait to buy these new consoles.
This is the reason I won't get a PS4 until at least March.
Yeah, let them sort it out. But per GameSpot.com, Sony's expected failure rate is 0.4%, these blue lighted deaths, or about 1 in every 250 consoles.
So it's still minimum, but it's still big enough that it's...
Right, and if you're looking at, they sold 1 million in 24 hours. That's 4,000 consoles.
Yeah, that's still a lot of...
You don't want to be one of the people who get screwed, because they don't even have replacement consoles for you right now.
No, yeah, because they're so hard to find at this moment. And again, That's one of the reasons why I wait.
Yeah, so... and then moving right along, the Navy's unmanned X-47B takes another flight last week, and the X-47B is basically an unmanned aircraft. And in a number of 45-minute flights, it's performed catapult launches, arrested landings, and these maneuvers were performed with the USS Theodore Roosevelt, which is now the third carrier that has participated in these testing. So the Navy is testing an unmanned aircraft, and it actually looks pretty cool. It almost looks like a stealth fighter.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So
it's like almost right out of that movie Stealth.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't have the same result.
yeah. The computer on board takes over.
Yeah, good old Jamie Foxx taking it down. Jessica Biel, my girl.
Yeah.
But that's it for the nerd news this week. Not a whole lot going on other than the PS4 and, like you said, with Blockbuster.
Yeah. So, all right, want to move on to Weird of the Week?
Yeah, let's do Weird of the Week. I'm going to start out. I'll save the better one for last. I'll start out with this one. A man in Michigan, I think it is. Yeah, he buys a home next to his ex-wife and then erects a middle finger statue.
That's pretty damn funny.
Yeah, talk about payback, right? Yeah. So a Michigan man says he moved into a house next door to his ex-wife and put up a 12-foot tall statue of the middle finger. Alan Markovitz recently moved into the home in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, which is next door to where his ex-wife lives with her new lover. Now you know why.
Yeah.
He told the local TV that he erected the statue to get even with his ex-wife's new lover. He never meant for the matter to become public, but apparently the story grabbed local media attention when his ex-wife's daughter posted a picture of the new statue on Twitter.
Well, I mean, how can you post a 12-foot middle finger on your lawn and not expect it to go public?
Right. Yeah, you know
Seriously.
Somebody's going to drive by and take a picture of it, especially with social media now, everything gets out.
Exactly.
But apparently this guy owns 3 Detroit strip clubs and recently wrote a book that Cinemas is now reportedly turning into a TV series.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this guy's a winner. He owns 3 Detroit strip clubs. And what does he use with this money? He uses it to put up a 12-foot tall statue of the middle finger.
Yeah. That's kind of awesome.
But, yeah, hey, I mean, people do crazy things in divorces. Crazy things.
Very true.
But this one was interesting. And it's going to be hard to even read this without laughing, but a robot butt developed by Dr. Benjamin Locke. And they have a nice little funny headline here. The cutting edge of rear search.
Oh, boy.
Yep, cue the ba-dum-bum.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy developed a robotic butt.
What would possibly be the point of that?
I will tell you.
Okay.
It's a plastic posterior hooked up to a video screen featuring a virtual male named Patrick who is bent over a desk. How bad does this sound, right? And there's a picture of it, and basically it's like a plastic molding of a butt sitting in front of a TV screen, and on the TV screen is like you're looking at the back of some dude's head.
Oh my! This is like a male homosexual fleshlight.
Right.
That's exactly what it is.
Except that's not what it's meant for. The device is designed to train budding doctors on how to give a prostate exam, according to this guy.
Sure.
Right. Like I said, his name is Dr. Benjamin Locke. L-O-K. If you want to look this weirdo up.
I think I'm going to pass on that one.
In the experience, he says in the experience, the student talks to the virtual person and is able to practice their communication skills. The mannequin is instrumented with 4 sensors that can measure where the student is examining and with how much pressure. This enables the system to provide a realistic encounter with a virtual patient that includes communication and physical exam components. So apparently this thing will respond to you if you're talking to it.
What's it going to do? Cringe a sphincter if you say the wrong words?
Get your finger out of my ass. That's what it should say. That's what I would say if I was Patrick.
Seriously, some people don't have anything better to do with their money.
Yeah, apparently it even
time.
measures eye contact between the medical student and the virtual patient to help improve bedside manner. I don't think you really should need to worry too much about bedside manner when you're in a prostate.
Not if you're sticking your finger up somebody's ass.
Right, and what kind of eye contact are you going to have when you're behind them, looking at the back of their head?
Well, not only that,
do you want them to turn around and stare at you as
not
you have
only
their
that,
hand up
but
their ass?
if I'm bent over a table because some doctor's doing a prostate exam, the last thing I want to do is make eye contact.
Right.
I'm going to have a book with me or an iPod.
Gaze into my eyes while my fingers are up your back.
Exactly.
You'll love this. Patrick is in use at Drexel University in Philadelphia.
Oh, so he's local.
And at the University of Florida, and Locke hopes to use the rear search to help improve virtual humans for other types of touchy situations.
Jesus.
My hope is that by the time I'm old enough to need a prostate exam, they have a less invasive method of doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is a step in the right direction at all.
No. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's some kind of significance to it. Maybe it'll help, when it comes to medical practice. But I could see this thing being used for the wrong reasons.
Right. Andrea does make a good point, though. She says, would you rather have these new doctors practicing on live patients?
As long as I'm not the live patient, sure.
That's what it says. Do you want to volunteer for it?
No, not at all.
No. But that's it for the Weird of the Week. I had to share that one.
All right.
And the best part, that it's in Drexel. So, hey, if you want to go visit Patrick, just drive down to Philly.
Yeah, that's pretty local to us.
Yeah.
Or
if you're in Florida, it's in University of Florida, too.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, maybe it's a good idea. Andrea says she thinks it's a good idea, and it possibly is. Like I said, it could probably have its usage for medical research. It's only weird if you make it weird. Oh, it'll be weird.
No, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
I
don't have to try. It's just weird.
So I think that's probably pretty much it for the show today.
Yeah, that's all I got.
So we got to do the usual plugs. We want you guys to check us out at Nerd Sentimental on Twitter. Obviously, go to the Facebook page, www.facebook.com/NerdSentimentalPod. Be sure to like it.
And keep sharing it. We're at 99 likes.
We got to get, yeah.
We need one more to get 100. So
if we somehow get 200 likes before now and Thursday, we're still going to live up to the whole getting you passes to see the Hunger Games. But it's going pretty slow. It's a slow and steady slope. I know we're going to get there eventually. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, this is only our third show, so
yeah.
I mean, you can't expect. Rome wasn't built in a day. They say.
Even I know some famous people who have podcasts who didn't build it overnight. So I'm not worried at all. It's coming along.
So in 10 years, when you hear us on CNN, don't be surprised.
You won't be able to say that you got in on the ground floor, and that'll be your loss. So you should just like us now and get it over and done with.
Yeah.
So next Saturday, or this coming Saturday rather, September. Wow, going back in time. Or jumping way forward in time. This Saturday, November.
Do they time travel on Doctor Who?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, there you go. See, so we kind of are going back.
So, but this Saturday, 7 o'clock on November 23rd, I'm going to host the 50th anniversary live show for Doctor Who. We're going to talk things all Whovian, Doctor Who, past and present. I'm still looking for some guests to be on the show. So you heard Manny. We got to definitely thank Manny for being on the show tonight.
Yeah, thanks again, Manny, for coming on. That was a good time.
But if you want to come on, you heard how easy it is, how lighthearted it is. I mean, we definitely take things very easily. So if you want to be on the show for that Doctor Who special, I'm looking for a number of different guests. If you want to be on, even if you only have 2 words to say, I'll take you. Trust me. If not, hey, I got no problem doing it by myself. Doesn't matter to me. But yeah,
I might come on with you.
Yeah, it'd be worth it.
Maybe I'll make it my mission to watch at least a few episodes this week so I can know a little bit about it.
And I'll definitely give you a list. I mean, I'll give you a list of like 4 or 5 episodes to watch.
Okay,
You know,
yeah, do that.
That'll definitely be.
And we'll actually post that list on our Facebook page. This way, if you're trying to see if it's your type of thing,
yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'll put together a list. Maybe I'll even put my head together.
We'll talk
with
to Manny
Manny's.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll put a short list together, 4 or 5 episodes. This way, if throughout the week you want to maybe check one out a night leading up to that special that we're going to do Saturday night, and we'll go from there. And we're still going to do the show on Sunday too.
Yeah, and if you can't listen live Saturday, as usual, we'll have it up on to download the next day.
Yeah, this should be up on YouTube and for download. Hopefully by tomorrow. I'd say no later than tomorrow night. This will be up. So by Monday night.
Now that we have the whole show recorded.
Yeah, exactly. No technical difficulty.
And Manny said he doesn't like Big Bang Theory, but I got to tell you one of the funny lines whenever I think of Doctor Who. Sheldon sits down to watch Doctor Who, but they were all talking or whatever, and he goes, at this point, it's more like Doctor Why Bother?
Yeah, exactly. I remember that too.
I love Sheldon's little humor.
So.
And actually, you were at the wedding last night. Our friend Denise, whom you've met, right? You know Denise, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, her husband Tom, he kind of reminds me of Sheldon a little bit.
Little bit, yeah.
Just his stature
Yeah.
and stuff. Not like his mannerisms or anything.
There was somebody else at the wedding who really reminded me of Sheldon. I will tell you off air who it was.
Okay. I didn't see.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you were sitting at Denise's table.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's about it. Next week's show, we're going to go back. We want to find out what your nerd roots are, your nerd origins. We're going to talk about your nerdigence. Yeah, we're going to talk about what pretty much got me started in the nerd culture, what got Adam started in nerd culture. We obviously want to hear from you guys what you feel got you started. Like, was it a particular movie, a TV show? What got you into the nerdy side of pop culture? We're going to talk about that next week.
Yeah.
So
looking forward to it.
But I think
there are more future guests to come as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we will.
We already have a couple of people that said they wanted to come on. So
yeah, we got a couple of people lined up, and we'll talk about that in the future. But I think that's about it.
Wraps it up on my end, Ben.
Yeah, wraps up episode 3. So I'm going to start naming them episodes.
Yeah, we promise episodes 1 through 3 are better than the Star Wars episodes 1 through 3.
Oh my God, they would have to be.
It's not hard. Not a high bar.
At least episode 1 was better than their episode 1.
They didn't really set the bar very high.
Even our episode 2, which was only 20 minutes online, is still better than their episode 2.
Yeah. Although I don't know if we'll be able to top 4, 5, and 6, but we'll do our best.
We'll never top episodes 4, 5, and 6.
And we're gonna beat 7 out, so you can judge us first.
So, if you guys have any ideas for like some special episodes that you guys want to hear us do,
what do you want to see?
I mentioned us doing a possible Back to the Future podcast and our broadcast.
And before Tiff says anything, we will be doing a Lord of the Rings.
We will,
podcast
yes, we will do a Lord of
December.
we will do a Lord of the Rings one. I don't even think we'd have to wait till the summer. Maybe sometime before Christmas, before The Hobbit comes out, we could.
That's why I said December.
Oh, I thought you said the summer.
No, December.
Sorry.
Comes out, I think, December 13th.
I believe so, yeah. So maybe sometime in the next couple of weeks, we might do a Lord of the Rings based. Maybe that Sunday before it opens.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll do something. So,
all right.
Manny just posted, I need to go, but before I forget, mention how Walking Dead has a racial quota.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it certainly does. I would agree with that. So, all right, we're going to wrap this up. Once again, at Nerd Sentimental on Twitter, Facebook.com/Nerd Sentimental Pod on Facebook. Like us, and share us.
Thanks again, Manny, for coming on.
Yeah, definitely. That was an awesome conversation. So, that's going to be it. We're going to take you out with our our music, and we will see you guys same
Next
time.
Saturday.
Well, yeah, Saturday for the Doctor Who special, and same time next Sunday for our next episode. So
Yep.
that's it, guys. Take care.
Later.